God's holy archangels will not try and have sex with you. That's a quote from Lauren Grace, who is a satanically ritually abused victim. And nothing speaks, other than Christ, nothing speaks truer than that. The fallen angels, when they approach these satanically ritually abused victims, will always attempt to copulate with them. And they do it quite successfully, unfortunately, to this day, just as in Genesis. It is a beautiful day in Albuquerque, New Mexico, February 25th, 2016. I'm going to try to make this quick because I don't want somebody stole my SIM card many months ago, and I don't have really all that much memory on my phone. So I wanted to share some names with you. Hello, my brothers and sisters in Christ. My sister Catherine, daughter of Zion, sister Brooke, sister Timothy. Oh, goodness. Brother Michael, brother Theodore, brother Thurston. And I'd like to say thank you to Brother Thurston for sending me that video. I will put a link in the description box. But here we are at the Veterans Memorial in Albuquerque, and you have a chessboard. There's one over there and one right here before you. And this is what I wanted to say. When you see a different color, unless it's black and red, if it's black and red, if this part is red, that is the Council of 13. That's the chessboard they play on. But if it's black and another color in place of the white, like say you've got like a, like a cream brown, or a, black and white, black and purple, black and gray, that is the Council of 9. Okay, they're just changing it up. And that's why I asked Christ about that, because I got thrown off myself. So I just wanted to clarify that. And I wanted to share some names that Christ revealed to me. Okay. There are some names that he revealed to me. Thoth and Hermes. We know about those names. Thoth is Hermes. Hermes is Thoth. And he is actually a member of the Council of 9. Okay. If he likes to leave the impression to many victims that he is a member of the Council of 12, because he is full of himself, and he is just not. He is a member of the Council of 9 fallen angels that reside close to the earth and on the earth and in the air of the earth. And okay, and then we have Rommel. Rommel is a member of the Council of 9. Then we have Yaris. Yaris is a member of the Council of 12 and fallen angels. And Odyssey is another name he revealed to me as being a member of the Council of 12 and fallen angels. And Infinity, okay? Really? Yeah. Infinity is a member, it's his nickname, a member of the Council of 12 fallen angels. And so this isn't even about the Council of 12 or 9. It is about the Council of 11. And that's why I'm at the Veterans Memorial. I wanted to share a story with you. It's a long story, but I want to try to shorten it. A few months ago, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I had shared with one sister, very dear sister, the story about Christ wanting me to do an object lesson in the casino. And I was very unsure. I was like, really, Lord? And he said, yes, I want you to go to the casino. I am releasing money that is owed to you because it's a long story, but my grandfather was a Zionist Jew. He was a rich, filthy Jew he was actually a Rothschild who had been adopted out. My mother, he found my mom when she was already married with children, and she used to comment about how he was connected with drug money and that she didn't want any of his money. And so time passed, and My parents were met with hard times at the end of their lives, close to the end of their lives. And my mom tried to obtain some of this money, not knowing the ramifications involved, not knowing. She comes from a generation that really wasn't aware of the consummation with Christ spiritually. They had always been, my dad had always been a very good provider, but anyway, they met with hard times. So unbeknownst to me, she approached the organization that my grandfather was connected to obtain the money. And apparently she must have proven, probably through blood, I don't know how she did it, I'm not real sure, but she was going to meetings in Colorado, taking not private jets, but little airplanes to meetings that they would have, because the lawyers apparently still gather together in Dallas and in places like that to decide what they're going to do with his money, because he died in 1986, my grandfather. So anyway, my parents ended up dying on 5/11, and I noticed that they're correlated with Milton William Cooper's death, because he died on 11/5. And Christ confirmed to me that they had actually been victims of the fallen angels. The deaths occur for reasons that we can't really wrap our minds around completely. But anyway, so I'm under his grace concerning my parents' death, their murder, whatever you want to call it. I know they're in a better place, and I know they're with him. They were hardworking. They were good people. They just didn't know how they weren't as blessed, I will say, in this life as we are, that we know now about being in Christ, walking in Christ, and it is a complete blessing. But anyway, so my parents, they died. I didn't do very well with the money that my father had really left my mother, but since she died with him, I had the money. Merrill Lynch stole the money from me. So Christ comes to me, and says, really, under Caesar's law, under Caesar's rules, they owe you that money. And because I have told, and this is not about the money, but the satanically ritually abused victims like Miss Lauren Grace are coming out in droves now. And they're breaking down. Their programming is breaking down. And they're reaching out for help. And Christ wanted me to have that money, not for me, but for those victims. Well, the fallen angels are in control of the commerce, okay? But Christ told them, ordered them to give me some of the money they owe me for having been an inheritor under Caesar's rules, right, and laws. So they refused to do it. And when I left the casino a couple of different times, I'm like thinking, I'm not hearing your voice. Is this your voice, or am I actually hearing this? And he says, yes. And all of a sudden the wind would come up and it would just get crazy with the weather. The weather would just out of the blue. I mean, it would be as nice as this is today, right now. And it would just, all of a sudden, a storm would just hit. And Christ was telling me when these storms were coming, that is, the Most High is angry, okay? As am I, okay, because I learned it as the Most High and His only begotten Son, okay? Angry with the fallen angels for not giving you that money that is owed to you, okay? In the amount that I ordered it. And so therefore you cannot give that money to these SRA, to the ministers like Dr. Preston Bailey and Daniel Duvall, who are literally just so overwhelmed with the amount of people that are coming to them for help, who are realizing and recognizing that they've been victims under the organization, okay? So that was one way in our time right now, as we are seeing things transpire. Before they completely transpire spiritually, He wanted to help them spiritually, of course, but in order to have that, the money would have been able to incorporate many more ministers into this, because there are also ministers who want training in this, and with the money it would have helped, many ministers come into the appropriate training under Dr. Preston Bailey and Daniel Duvall. So what ended up happening was Christ told me one day, he said, that one of the fallen angels met with demise, of the Council of 12. And he kind of just put that, and there was a burning involved, a burning involved. Now, take heed. Listen to me when I say this was months ago, months and months and months. It was last summer, I think, when it happened. So what ended up happening after that was the burning of Aleister Crowley's house. Now, Christ revealed to me that in fact was one of the occurrences that happened to one of the fallen angels for not wanting to release that money to me so I could give it to the victims, One of the fallen angels already met with demise, Now, this is really hard for us to wrap our heads around, but when Thurston, my brother Thurston, sent me that video, and I will put a link in the description box. He sent it to me today. I had to come and share this with you. And this is not only about that. This is about judgment coming upon the Council of 11 fallen angels who are behind wars and rumors of wars like these. So let me just repeat when I say judgment has been proclaimed against the Council of 11 fallen angels who have provoked wars for their own gain. And they know who I'm talking about. I stand in Christ. Remember, people, the kingdom of heaven is in us. And nobody knows that more than Satan himself. That's why he wants in our children. The time machine is nothing more than a rock like this rock until you have a human used to go into the kingdom of heaven through us. We have a place there. All praise and glory to the Most High and His only begotten Son.